Up, isn't this interesting news? Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm just gonna be talking about how to survive AI. That's like what's on everyone's mind, right? Frankly, I don't think it would replace people. I think it's more of like the supply and demand. It's gonna replace other people, making it harder for newer entrants to sort of come in. And jobs, honestly, built in a way that you can't really depend on having one job. Like you could depend on having one job, but like not in a different economy. Like in a third world country, I believe it's fine. But yeah, anyways, let's get started. Okay. So first of all, let's start with basic stuff that are continuously getting automated, which is data entry, auditing, things like customer service. I would say to an extent because of AI bots, voice agents, customer service. What else? Documents, like basic document filling, docs. So this is the first level. Right, so let me talk in terms of expertise. Again, this video is not in a way where I'm trying to discriminate anyone in any role, but I'm trying to sort of rank in a personal perspective. Okay, so next we have business roles, because of course not the higher level, I would say, but business is like the first step of like anyone. I'm talking about strictly about jobs. Okay, so anyone who is not in this field, like let's say maybe McDonald's or their automated checkout services and stuff. So Walmart employees, I would say. Not really at risk because we need humans, so at least not for like the next 5 years. Next role we have business. So business, anything related to business, business jobs, because it's relatively lower entry barrier because you might need a degree, you might not need a degree. Well, of course MBA is a different type, but yeah, pretty saturated, I would say, because the entry barrier is much lower, but a little higher than this, so in that sense a little bit better. Next we have lower level tech and lower level finance and accountancy to an extent, like mid-level accountancy. So this one, I would say to an extent, like say if you have a SIMA, for example, of course you're not going to get really automated, but there's going to be a lot more people entering into this field because of the shrinkage in the stuff. A lot more people competing because of the shrinkage in the number of jobs, right? So I would say lower level finance, lower level tech, we already see this getting insanely popular. Lower level finance, we also see this happening with BlackRock and everything. So yeah, middle level accountancy, because accounts at the end of the day is just adding numbers together, understanding context of what you're dealing with, adding numbers together, getting things right. So yes, one to a middle level, it will reduce the number of people that needs to do something, like 10 people to 1, that type of thing. So a company doesn't really need 10 people, you know what I mean? So the next level is, of course, this is business. Next level is cybersecurity, cloud architect, DevOps. Honestly, I think cloud architects will have to handle maybe a little bit of full stack development, DevOps plus DevOps. These guys need to focus on AI-based cybersecurity, but cybersecurity will always be in demand because there's always threats. If you want to learn this, I made a video on this. Understand networking concepts. Okay, networking as in not like people networking, but networking like computer networking. Okay, so understand computer networking if you want to get good at this. Apart from that, I would say ML will be in high demand. Machine learning engineers. So let me actually put this on a different layer. So then we have biotech, renewable energy. So biotech, renewable energy, oil and gas. I think oil and gas might go a little less of this use because of the global warming and things like that. But we have ML, right? Machine learning will always be in demand. I think more than cybersecurity, this will have demand for it because every company is trying to get some piece of ML or AI in that sense. So I would also put AI automation over here. AI automation. So you think of like workflows, agentic workflows, LLMs using response cycles. You know what I mean, land graph and stuff. So decision trees, building different workflows for AI to artificially AGI. So making sure you build the architecture for it and it's able to sort of do the next steps of it. So yeah, like I said, biotech, right? Biotech, renewable energy. So think solar panels, windmill repairing people, like people who can build a proper windmill, people who can work on what's this? I forgot what I mean. But yeah, so this machine learning, yeah, and a layer above we have. Honestly, I would put I think a law at this level as well. Because law also will have a lot more people, because I mean this is honestly you need a level of expertise. Honestly, I would put law this level, right? So imagine I just extend this like this. Let's say law, okay, law. So then we have next level, we have doctors and say civil engineers. Yeah, interior designers also, I'll put them here. Interior designers, because they will always be in demand. So pretty good job. Yeah, interior designers, I think they would be in job. Then we have civil engineers. We have doctors. And doctors, so this is white collar, right? This is white collar. So let's move to blue collar, okay? People are moving towards blue collar as well. Keep in mind, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an honest take, my personal opinion. Blue collar, unless you start your own business, okay, which you can if you save money properly from white collar, and if you invest, okay, if you compound properly, then you can put money from this bubble into blue collar. It's going to be consistent demand, but there's going to be a lot more people here as well because of the people that are coming from, the way I see it, people who are getting laid off from this higher levels will always come to the next level like that, and so on and so forth, unless there's like a job shortage. Let's say you're skilled in like, I don't know, finance or business, then of course, like when you get, like let's say you happen to have face like an unfortunate circumstance, in that case you will come towards anything lower level or skill lower level, right? So anyone above can come down, but not someone going from below to top it's a little bit harder than that. So that's the way I see it, right? So blue collar, I would say welding will always be in demand. Construction will always be in demand. Any type of blue collar field. But the only problem with this is when you do it for 2 to 4 years, it's gonna get very labor intensive. So it's gonna be very, your paycheck is gonna kind of be stagnant, even though there's like consistent demand for it. So in that sense, I think it's better if you can get some skills in blue collar, while you get some skills, while you upskill yourself and get a job in white collar. So I'm at this stage. I'm trying to get into. So I would put higher level finance here as well. Higher level finance, because it's harder to get into. Cybersecurity is these two are my ones. I'm also into this. I have done this, and I've also done these. So I'm also looking into this, machine learning specifically. Yeah, so that's pretty much. I'm more on the NLP side, just for anyone who's curious. Yeah, so this should be the ultimate roadmap. So blue collar, you can pick any of these work. Ideally get some pretty good skills, maybe mechanic work. You can maybe learn how to do work on renewable energy type cars like electric vehicles, EVs. Yeah, so blue collar work, just get some skills on the side. I would ideally say go towards white collar, get some blue collar skills on the weekends, and that way you'll be able to start your own business with the white collar money you make, because white collar pays way more. So of course overall you will be less labor intense, and you'll be saving a lot more if you invest it properly. White collar plus investing, right? You need to compound this properly. I've made a separate video on this. So understand finance to an extent, I would say. It is to an extent where you can properly understand what a proper investment opportunity is, not without just taking advice on a surface level. So that's my advice. So understand finance, and yeah, once you do this, you keep doing this over and over. At a certain point, you will have a pretty good amount of money where you can start a blue collar or white collar business, or maybe both, right? Don't limit your options, I would say. But try to, if you have like good soft skills, it's really good. But try to go up this, like nowadays especially, you need to have more knowledge than soft skills itself. So more technical, right? Because you need to have this. This is important because, at the end of the day, we need to communicate with humans. But you need to lead teams, things like that. But at the same time, there's a lot more people that are going to be doing this because of the, destruction of jobs that's going to come from here, right? It's going to go lower and lower and lower, or people are just going to keep going up and up and up, right? So it's going to be, again, I might be overthinking a little bit, maybe, but overall, this is a guide on how to stay safe. Of course, if you want, you can also start, like I said, white collar business, like maybe AI automation, maybe selling solar panels, or that's not really white collar, but anything related to selling. Not everybody's going to be in the headspace to really start being an entrepreneur early in their life, right? Some people just want a job for some time. So yeah, in that sense, because there's a lot more stress involved with entrepreneurship as well, just coming from someone who's tried different things, right? So yeah, because it's where success goes up, and then all the stress levels also go up parallelly with it. So in the first few stages of your life, I would say ideally get as much knowledge as possible. Learn, invest, learn finances, learn the world, learn economics, learn the world for what it is, right? A little bit of philosophy, I would say. Always be ahead, be ahead by learning as much, right? Because even if they can take away what you earned because of different business, for example, it's never like it's never a linear regression chart. It's more of like a logistic regression chart. It could go like this, and then it could go this, and then go. You get what I mean? So they can take away what you make, what you earn, but they can't take away what you learn, right? So learning on top of earning, right? Because what you learn is what you can apply and to earn, right? So that's what strategy is at the end of the day, right? Even from business roles, you can learn how to run a business properly, right? So that what you learn is actually what makes you more money, because that's what strategy really is. What you learn, you apply it in a practical sense. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video. And I would say if you guys are going towards, if you want something that's safe, go to cybersecurity or cloud architecture or AI automation. Combine all three of these, right? Ideally, cloud, security, ML operations. This combines DevOps, machine learning, security, which is red teaming and blue teaming, and we have cloud. So cloud is always going to be in demand. This is cloud architecture, so you could start from AWS and move on to security of AWS, move on to machine learning, move on to ops. But what repeats across these two is networking, right? Networking is the underlying concept of both of these, right? Always, whether it's cloud or security. MLOps, this one, it's more of like full stack development, should give you a pretty good idea of this. This CI/CD pretty much, how to orchestrate pipelines. So use Jenkins to, Docker containers, Kubernetes, things like that. ML, machine learning, honestly, there's two sides. There's normal AI, which is using tools like NA10. So this is like, getting the workflows up and running. And then there's also another side, which is the machine learning side of things. So this is like where you use models. So you use models built by other people, and you pretty much build something out of those models that are built by other people. So let's say this model, on top of that, you build something else, right? So you combine a few different models, and then you build another bigger and better model. And that's going to be for machine learning. And yeah, so ideally have both of them, no code and using code and models, understanding the actual abstract knowledge of machine learning. Then like normal automation tools are going to be pretty simple because it's just like sort of connecting dots, graphs and stuff. Yeah, that's a guide on how to survive AI. I think this is a pretty good idea.